Why the finals could be the perfect esport.
There's a game that entered open beta recently and has me by a chokehold. Captivated, hooked as much as a sweaty gamer boy who doesn't leave his dorm room can be. A game so interesting it takes up all my 2 hours of screen time a day my doctor recommends.
Nice.
And then some. A game with one huge controversy.
Wait, is it really 2 hours a day that doctors recommend if you have to be on the computer? 2 hours max? That's so funny, dude. Like, imagine years from now that maybe that goes up an hour. And then more years go by, and then maybe it goes up an hour. Okay, 4 is fine. Okay, 5 is fine. All right, as long as you're getting up every like 15 minutes, and then you know how you're supposed to sit up, like get up from your computer seat and stretch, or not, maybe not stretch, just like walk around, just to get the blood flowing again every 15 minutes. Maybe they push that back too. Maybe they're just like, people are just gonna sit at their computer for hours on end and not give a shit anyway. Let's just, constantly just push that back. Bro, what if that's the case?
A big issue that could just lead to its demise, though I'll get to that later in the video, so stick around. I'm talking about
the finals. Okay, so I'll just start off and say the finals does look like a decent game. It is an FPS. It does have crossplay enabled. I haven't played it personally myself, but I mean, all I've done is like watch videos and streamers play it, and it does look good. It looks fun. I don't know how strong the aim assist is. I don't know if that plays a big factor because there is a lot of visual clutter in this game, and from my understanding, the movement system looks pretty good as well. And also, from what I can gather, it's a 3v3v3, as you can see up here for the teams. It's very easy to understand, like 1, 2, like 3, and like dollars, 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 and so on and so forth. So it's not that hard to figure out what's going on, but let's just see.
It feels like every year there's a bajillion new free-to-play first-person and third-person shooters trying to capitalize on the current competitive multiplayer trend. Why is the finals any different, you may be asking? For those of you that don't know, the finals is a new unique first-person shooter where players on teams of 3 compete to extract the most money.
Honestly, I do like the team orientation of having to get 3 players together. I think the lower, so I don't think like 1 player FPSs will ever be a thing. I mean, just look at if you look at Fortnite. Fortnite is done in teams. Apex is done in 3s. What else? There's Warzone. I don't know how popular that is. Last time I checked, there was like solos, duos, and the 4-man squad. But I think having to get together 3 people is probably your best bet, because here's the thing. For me, there has never been a really good FPS that has kind of honed in on like just the 2-person team. I would really like to have like a situation like that be like just start popping off, and it doesn't have to be a BR or whatever. I mean, the finals isn't a BR; it's just an objective game. But if I have to put another person in, I think 3 is fine. 4, you're kind of pushing it, 3's a company, 4's a crowd. Or wait, is it 2's company, 3's a crowd? I don't fucking know. But I really like the 3-person aspect, because the less amount of people that you have to get together for a team, like every person you add is just another barrier to entry for like 3 stacks and so on and so forth. Yes, there is probably going to be some sort of like amount of the audience that just solo queues, but this game is probably going to be going for, it's going to concentrate on the 3s.
Quick Cash, the pretty much standard mode, sees players racing to unlock vaults, taking boxes of money and cashing them out. Games like Rogue Company, Hyperscape, and Knockout City had some initial hype but died down and kinda literally died. I think that the finals is something different, and I hope to see it succeed. It isn't really based on any trend or genre, and it really feels like its own thing. It's unique.
Oh yeah, when you shoot people, they just poop out money. or gold coins.
Esports is a very money-hungry industry that kind of fails to fund itself. Putting money
Esports is an insatiable whirlpool of just a money pit.
into an esports team or event is basically throwing it away. You won't get that back. People don't watch esports the way they watch real sports, and I think that's a flaw with the games just as much as it is with the way that they're presented and shown to the masses. I think there are
No, people do not watch esports the way they do real sports. When you think of the word real sports, you immediately think of the NFL, the MLB, NBA, NHL, FIFA. And when you say the word like real sport, you're referring to those organizations, but you don't. But what you forget is that the people that reached those points already in real sports, they're already at the top of like they're in their prime. They're top 1% players to even get to that point. So to the audience member, they're just viewing top 1% people playing their specific sport. When it comes to esports, it's kind of the same, but kind of not. So when a new game comes out, like you'll obviously have, like look at League of Legends, like the big tournament, Worlds. All right, there's a ton of teams, and within those teams, all of those players, I would say, are like top 1% players. Even within the top 1%, or like 99th percentile players, there's a lot of difference in terms of peak skill and consistency of skill. So when a new game comes out, it hasn't established itself. So what does it have to do? It has to put on tournaments for like nobodies, essentially. So so then what's your next question? Okay, first we got to get the game hyped up. We have to get people to like play the game. We need massive amounts of people to play. And then once you have like a chunk of people playing your game, all of the, as Macho Man Randy Savage says, the cream rises to the top. All right. So yeah.
Two things that most modern esports, especially FPS esports, get very wrong. One of my biggest problems with hyper-competitive esports is they're usually not that fun to play casually.
No, they're not that fun to play casually. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for out of a. When you say the word hyper-competitive, like FPS, it's what is it called? An oxymoron. When you say hyper-competitive FPS, I'm not trying to play a hyper-competitive FPS casually. If I'm trying to play a hyper-competitive FPS, I want to like try hard in the game. This whole notion of what do you call it? Casuals wanting to be able to compete on the same level as the no-lifers that just grind all day every day doesn't make sense to me. Because most of the time in a lot of these games, there are other game modes besides the ladder game mode. So, Apex, it'll be the rank ladder. Valorant, it'll be the rank ladder. Counter-Strike has a ranked ladder. In a lot of these games, there's a bunch of other modes to play. So you just have to take that. Like in Apex, there's LTMs. In Fortnite, there's a bunch of other modes besides like your competitive ladder. Same thing with Overwatch. Same thing with Call of Duty.
The fun in most of those games comes from winning, not playing. Many will argue with me, but just
fun from winning. Again, this just comes down to what are you expecting out of the game? Like winning in the competitive ladder, it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes time, it takes effort, and a lot of people are not willing to do that. So if you don't want to do that, but you still like the game, maybe play a different mode in the game until you feel confident enough to step on that on that ladder again.
Just think about this. Were you having fun because of the game and its gameplay, or were you having fun because you were locked in on strategizing and playing like a team with your friends? A game can be perfect for competitive play, but just not that fun if you don't want to sweat. Valorant is the
Yeah.
best example I can think of because I have an ungodly amount of time in that game, and I will admit, a good chunk of it was fun, but I would honestly say that more than half of it felt just not that fun. Without the competitiveness and hype of winning or at least trying to, the game feels very stale after a few games, and it honestly starts to feel like the same thing over and over. My other big
Well, yes. Much the same way real sports does. You know, ask Stephen Curry or Steph Curry how many times he's taken a three-pointer shot. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of times. It's boring. It's repetitive. All right? But if you do it enough like him, you're just really good at sinking threes. All right? The funness of it is here or there. He thinks it's fun. All right? So, I mean, if you want to get really good at something, the fun aspect, I think, diminishes over time, and it just becomes a norm that you do a thing over and over again, constantly trying to hone it and get better at it, trying to do things quicker, trying to predict certain outcomes, and so on and so forth.
issue with many esports is that without a very deep understanding of and respect for the game, they aren't that fun to watch. Most of the time,
Well, generally because there's a lot of shit happening on the screen, and trying to sell a certain image of a game to a normal person that maybe doesn't play the game is really hard. All right? Stick and ball sports are really easy to watch because it's really easy to follow what is going on. Where do I need to look on the TV? Where's the ball at? Where's the puck at? Just look at the ball. And that's what's happening. All right? That's one of the key things. With all these shooters and like BRs, it's like you don't really know where to look. Like, you got this mini map, you got the person, you got these like three other people. Are they teammates? Are they enemies? They're probably teammates. What is this square? What is that square? What is all this bullshit over here? You know, what is this thing up here? You know, there's a compass. A left shift to toggle zoom. What is this number? There's a lot of shit to a normal person to look at.
watching esports is nowhere near as enjoyable as playing the game itself. There's not much of a spectacle, and I think that's where
And this is probably going to be game specific, but I think it's really easy to watch Rocket League because essentially it's just race car soccer. What do I need to look at? The ball? Okay. That's what's happening. That's where the action's at. Look at the ball. Rocket League is really easy to watch. And as far as FPS goes, I would probably say Counter-Strike is probably one of the easiest shooters to watch, in that you could tell someone like a small little paragraph of like, oh, what's happening? Well, there's one team, they got to plant the bomb, and the other team has to stop them from planting the bomb. And then while that's happening, they're trying to kill each other. Oh, and the guns are pretty like realistic. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the AK. I know that gun. That's the pistol. I know that gun. You know, it's easy.
For the sake of competitive balance and fairness. Some games are better in this regard, mini fighting games
Yeah.
for example, but it still just ends up looking like random stuff happening on the screen, at
Yeah.
least to me.
Oh, that's true. Fighting games are very easy to watch because it's just a 1v1. You know, just take the health away from the other person. You don't get much simpler than that.
So what makes the finals any different? That line seems to be the theme of this entire video. There's one word I have for you.
Oh shit. Destruction.
This game not only feels good to play, has elaborate movement and good gunplay, it lets you blow pretty much everything up. Considering it was made by a
Nice.
team of ex-Battlefield devs, this
Oh, that's
makes
cool.
a lot of sense.
I didn't know that.
If you don't like playing the objective, just start blowing shit up. Take down a whole ass building and hey, maybe it'll stop an enemy from getting money, or maybe it won't. It doesn't really matter, because it was fun. That feeling of running through a building only for it to collapse around you is something special, a feeling you can't get many places, especially not in competitive esport type games. The flow of quick cash, the somewhat standard game mode, is kinda like a story or a movie.
Wait, what did that say?
Something special, a feeling you can't get many places, especially not in competitive esport type games. The flow of quick cash, the
Wait. Oh. You put it up there for like so short, dude.
esport type games. The flow of quick cash,
And tournaments, again, which are functionally similar. Okay.
the somewhat standard game mode, is kinda like a story or a movie. It has action, yeah of course, this is an FPS, but it also has tension. Having 3 or 4 teams makes it so much less of a back and forth, the
Yeah.
way many esports are, and much
Instead of a back and forth, it's more of a rock, paper, scissors. Not only do you have to time your shit to one team, you have to time it out to another team.
More of a scramble where no two games go the same. The round starts off with a race to unlock the vault, followed by some combat and then another race to deliver the cash box to a cash out station. From there, it's basically King of the Hill, just way more fun. The destructible environments really add so much in this stage of the game. You're on the second floor of a building and the cash out's on the third? Destroy the floor, drop it to your level and steal it. I've also had experiences where someone just decides to take out the whole building.
I had no idea you could do that.
And the whole fight comes crashing down. No other esport, or any game really, has this amount of diversity in how a round can go in such a—
Wait, can you take... I'm pretty sure you don't take fall damage in this game, but do you take, like, damage if the thing falls on you?
Just short period of time.
Controversy.
The finals already has one major controversy. Ooh. AI voice acting.
Oh, who gives a shit, dude? AI voice acting? Bro, I don't care, and I haven't even played the game yet. I've watched it, but I haven't played it. Bro, who gives a shit if it's AI voice acted?
Yes, all of the voices in the game, aside from grunts, were made using AI. Here, just listen closely.
Here we go! The socialites, the overdogs, and finally, the ultra rares.
Bro, this is like a side of a side thing. I could care less about this, to be honest. Who gives a shit? I just want the good gameplay. Give me the good gameplay. That's it. All right? Who cares about if it's AI voice acted?
The arena is loaded. Buckle up.
And besides, it sounds fine.
All the sounds of explosions, gunshots, and my friends, it's honestly hard to tell it's AI.
Back
in play.
Yeah, but I think we are Jews.
I do not condone this. I got you, dude.
Recording this, Jay.
Hey.
I know. Don't you always have that one friend that, like, they talk like an idiot and you tell them, hey, I'm going to try to record this. Don't say any dumb shit. And then they still feel the need to say slurs and dumb shit. Yeah, we all got that one friend.
You said you're recording gameplay.
Oh, you were recording gameplay, not the commentary. Nice.
Recording our commentary.
Oh, shit.
Now that I know, though, it's really easy to tell if you're listening for it. I'm not going to get into the ethics of this completely. That's for another video. But where it's at now does really seem like it poses a threat to voice actors in the future. I would like to note that it seems as if—
Oh, just how self-checkout threatens the jobs of cashiers. Bro, I went to my Publix yesterday. They are installing self-checkouts in Publix now. Publix was one of the last bastions that cashiers had. And now Publix is doing it. The Walmart is like almost all completely self-checkout. Now Publix is about to be almost all self-checkout. Who gives a shit?
The AI voices are trained on in-house voice actors based on this comment from Embark, the game's developer. Quote, in the open beta, it is based on a mix of professional voice actors and temporary voices from Embark employees. Making games without actors isn't the end goal for Embark, and TTS, or text-to-speech, technology has introduced new ways for us to work together. Personally, I think AI text-to-speech could be very useful for game development in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday allowing for complete conversations with NPCs generated on the spot. But I also think they need to be trained on and alongside voice actors who are being compensated. As of right now, the tech just isn't good enough to be unnoticeable and completely replace real people. I will give the finals a bit of a pass on this, though. The game's setting is a futuristic virtual game show, and I think that—
Bro, people will be willing to... I guarantee you, if you ask the majority of players who play this game and you said to them, did you know that game's voice acting was AI? They would probably say no. The only thing that players care about is the gameplay. Does the game play good? Does it feel good? Great.
AI voices kind of really—
Because I don't know if you know this, but the current landscape of the FPS cornucopia basket is looking kind of bare. All right? Not to sound alarming or anything, but not a lot of great FPSs have been coming out. You know, finals, it's got potential. Don't fucking mess it up, because just because you don't want some AI voice acting in it. Oh,
They do make it feel futuristic and virtual. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the whole AI voice acting thing.
Don't care.
Comments.
issues. Much the same way with any other game, there are most likely bugs.
As of writing this, the finals is still currently in beta and does have its fair share of bugs. Almost everyone I've experienced is purely visual and very minor. The only real game-breaking bug I've encountered has been regarding moving platforms, which, especially when mixed with goo, can cause some wacky results.
Really?
The finals runs on Unreal Engine 5, which means it
Okay, this is fine. This is good. The game runs on like one of the most open sourced gaming engines. It's being constantly updated and so on and so forth. Great.
looks amazing. That also means it takes a lot to run. Normally,
But to be a contrarian, all right, FPS bros, what did they do for their FPS games? They open up the settings, they crank everything down to low, and call it a day. All right, that's what they do. FPS bros, they don't care about how good the graphics look. They just crank that shit all the way low so that they also they look at, if there is an option, they turn the character model texture all the way up so that the models can stick out really easy against the backdrop. All right. FPS bros just care about visual. They care about performance. They don't care about how it looks. And if this developer adds in options to reduce all this visual clutter, you bet your sweet bippy that they're figuring out a way to turn this bullshit off.
I think this would be worthwhile, but for an esport, every last frame matters. I hope that as the game gets updated and moves out of beta,
Jeez.
it continues to receive optimization
Bro, explosions are fucking abyss in this game, it looks like.
updates. Where the game is at now performance-wise is still vastly better than its previous closed betas and alphas and such. Performance in those was egregious. While the game is already in a somewhat balanced state right now, any changes or additions to the gameplay, maps, or weapons will have vastly different effects on the different classes, as they themselves are vastly different. Heavy, for example, has more than double the health of Light, and has one of the most annoying weapons in the game, the flamethrower. It's nearly impossible to counter a Heavy with a flamethrower if you're within 3 to 5 meters. Not only does
Okay, so then what? Then what's the next question you ask? Make sure you don't get in range of the heavy guy. You take him out from a distance.
it do a lot of damage,
So then I would imagine heavy characters are really good in close quarters. Then you have to figure out a way to deal with him then.
but you also just kinda can't see. It's like you're being flash
Yeah, that... Oh, God, I'm sorry.
banged. Light has a similar
Yeah. So it seemed like that when he put that flamethrower up, there was so much bullshit. Like, it was so annoying. I can't tell you how much visual clutter is a huge turnoff.
problem, with the invisibility ability being completely unfun to play against, and frankly I think it shouldn't have been added to the game in the first place.
Wait, well, how bad is the invisibility? Is it just like, just straight clear, or is it kind of like a blurry little blob just walking around?
If the devs are smart about it, this shouldn't be an issue for long, but I just wanted to point out it could easily cause problems.
Yes, it could.
I've seen a lot of hype for the finals lately, and I think it's well deserved. If they can handle some of the balancing, deal with the AI situation well and people's response to it, and not overdo it with microtransactions when
Oh, bro, there's a microtransaction thing already? Isn't this game only in beta?
they inevitably add them, I really think this game will succeed and be a truly special esport. Or at least I hope it will, because it's pretty fun.
That's cool.
Let's go!
Winners win. Oh, so much shit. Oh, he's clueless. Huh. Oh, that's pretty cool. No, I think depending on how the continued development goes for this game is probably going to dictate how well it will do on release. Because I see a lot of like Aim Train bros play this game, and from what I see, they like it, and I don't care about playing the game in its beta form. I just don't. But I'll just play the game when it comes out and give it a shot and see what it's like. But I mean, here's hoping. fingers crossed. But no, that was a cool video. I've never seen a spider rock. Yeah, great video, man. Keep it up. I want to see more, definitely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.